Greetings and welcome back to the madness. Last time we left off, we did something about this tianaton farming and subsequent processing for power. And I noticed that I made a small mistake. Namely that I'm not actually taking care of, well, most of the charcoal needs, which is a problem, right? So it seems that this is running on pellets, and this is running on pellets, and this is running on charcoal, which is weird, because I'm mixing them here. And that's probably not that great an idea, to be quite honest. Partially because, well, we want a proper steady stream of pellets here on one side, and partially because, well, we need charcoal somewhere in the logistic system, in the logistic train system, which means that as it is right now, this doesn't quite work as I need it to. Mostly because there's still so much charcoal here that's not being nicely processed. There's some more stuff here. So the general gist of it... Oh, come on. What's happening here? Thank you. There we go. Right. So what's happening here is the following. I'm actually gonna just fix this by doing something somewhat boring. Yeah, let's put that here. Drop that. No, I want an underground pipe here. And this doesn't work because I'm an idiot. Right, so this goes like this. Here we have a power pole and another power pole. Thank you. And this belt, come on, needs to go over there. And I need more belts, which comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody. There we go. Now, the next step is... well, removing this mess. And then removing this mess. Or rather, moving this mess. There we go. Thank you for the advanced ore refining. Let's go for military 2. Because it's gonna be more and more necessary to clean out some of these bases that are there. Good. So this is gonna use up some of the charcoal we're producing here, which is great. Also, you may notice that suddenly this belt has a lot less charcoal pellets on it, which is to be expected, honestly. Now let's remove this belt here, because it's not actually doing what it's supposed to do. Let's fix that. Because we're getting all the charcoal from the top here now. And then there's some charcoal to go down there and some charcoal to go in here. Is that can be limited severely. Right, okay. And now comes the fun part. Moving the second liquefier. Soon as it's finished, basically. Seems like one inserter is quite very much sufficient, thank you. In one way or another. Ah yes, the good old problem. Let's just grab some iron plates and some tin plates. Oh dear me. The frame drops are real, unfortunately. Thank you for military 2. Let's go for advanced ore refining. It's actually something that will become really useful, especially aluminum. But all of that's gotta wait a bit. Just a bit. Just 160 iron plates. Yeah, that's much more like it. Okay, let's craft some yellow belts. And take a look at landfill, actually. Right. There's landfill. There's some more landfill. And up here should be also some more landfill. See? That's what I told you. Good. Cheers. Now, the first thing I really want to do is fill in this existing city block. Just because it's... well, I like it that way. But honestly, what I should be doing is expanding this farming area. Since we're obviously not producing enough tianaton, well, enough charcoal to clean out all this mess. And now we can continue down here. There we go. And suddenly all of this is full, which is nice. Put to the right. Go. this is where the fun begins, because we need to upgrade all of these transport belts, should it be necessary. Now, with that working, we can talk about something else, namely output to the left, and then pull that one to the input of the charcoal pellet production up here. That's annoying. Let's not do that, actually. Let's instead do this. Yes. And here's a splitter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of stuff. And some assembling machines. There we go. Now, this is going to be making charcoal pellets. Doesn't matter, it's a bit slower here. And power poles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Cool. So this should be cleaning itself out perfectly fine. The only issue that remains is providing charcoal to the train station and providing charcoal to this filtering and the smelting. These two are still a problem in a way, right? Which brings us to the next problem that we, well, ignored a bit. And the problem is that there's no space for a train to turn around in the whole train network. And that's a problem because, well, you can only turn around by going in the depot. And if you can't turn around, you can't switch the side of the train tracks. So if a train comes out and goes to the charcoal provider and then should deliver to a station that is not on the outside of this ring, then it has to go through the depot to go to the inside of the ring, which is a problem in case there's another train in the depot. Currently there's not, but you know, should work either way. Right now it doesn't, which is something I'm intending to fix by doing a bit of a mess, right? So we'll remove all of this. And all of the rails there as well. It's going to be the next thing. Thank you for advanced ore refining. Turrets? Nah. Let's go for lubricant. Lubricant is going to be extraordinarily useful later when we make robots. But that time is not now. So let me just deconstruct this mess. I've been playing around a bit in the sandbox mode with infinite resources to create a crossing that will serve a similar purpose as this one, but be a lot cheaper. Oh dear, someone's writing. Lots and lots of stuff to deconstruct. Come on. Unfortunately, I don't have robots, so none of this helps. I continue to deconstruct this, and while I'm at that, I'm gonna tell you about that crossing. I have it available as a blueprint, and it's pretty cheap, honestly. So you need 64 rail segments for a single straight of rail, right? Because every chunk is 32 by 32 and a rail segment covers a length of 2. So for one length of rail across a chunk, you need 16 and you need 4 rail strings, basically. Which means that you need 64 rail segments for one of the straights. Now, since we have a crossing here, we need 2 straights, basically, that are angled 90 degrees from one another, and they can't reuse any of the rail segments between them, which makes 128 rail segments. Just to have them basically crossing. So you can see this here. This is what it's gonna be. That's 128 rail segments. But we have this crossing which has, well, 5 rail segments, 5 straights. No, 6 actually. Which means a lot of rails, basically. And it includes track switching. It's nicely symmetric and all that. And we combine this crossing using fewer signals than there originally are with the turnaround at the end to create a fully featured 4-way crossing with switching and a turnaround. Oh no. Right. Apparently I didn't bring enough landfill, which isn't really that surprising, honestly. Let me just fill these in and then start filling in some of the rails so we can get back to properly using this rail system. Because right now we can't deliver anything on the rail system because there's not all the connections that we need. I'm gonna ignore the left-hand side of this for now. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. At least two. Hang on. Did I want that there? I don't think I did. Yep, I didn't. Good. So... this took a while to set up. But... as soon as we're done... we actually have a rail system that performs to our specifications. Come on. Alright, this isn't connected. This is now connected. There we go. This goes straight through. Okay. There we go. Research! Electric engine units are useful for robots. That's why we're researching them now. Because to be quite very honest, as soon as it gets to scaling things, there's just nothing that beats robots. There just isn't. Let's take a look at the power. And it looks great, look at that. We're filling up with the charcoal pellets. We have some excess charcoal, it seems. And the output from this area is preferred over the others. Now there could be some argument made of extending this line and feeding it into this station. And honestly, I think that's what I'm gonna do for now. Just because it's easier. Right. I think that should be all the rail segments that I need. Now it's time for some signals. And that's why I picked those up. For now, this junction is not actually gonna be signaled that well. Come on. And right here. It's just gonna be one train in the junction. That's okay for now. Ah, yes. This should be sufficient, actually. Let me check. Right. Let's add some rail signals here. Come on. There we go. And let's add some rail signals. Now that seems to be working. That seems to be working. Let's look at the map. We have some rail signals here that separate the block. There's some rail signals. Yeah, it all seems to be working just fine. Good, wonderful. Now, the next thing to do is, well, filling up the charcoal provider. Even though this requester doesn't just yet need charcoal at all, but we want it to be working. Right, so that's another step. Well done. Cheers. Let's grab that landfill. Yes, because we wanted charcoal to be delivered for here, for these areas. And that's not as easy as it might look. because there's little space to squeeze in a train station. And we didn't get around to finishing the turnaround either. So that's also not ideal. Just not ideal. Now this should help just a bit. Oh, come on. Even further up. There we go. Doesn't need to be pretty, just needs to work. Okay. Let's start from here then. Just for reasons. This is a turnaround. And there we go. It doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to work. The signals were complaining that they are not actually segregating the train tracks. Because the block behind and the block before were the same block. So we need a rail signal in the middle, at least one. I added two just to be safe. So we have a really ugly hack here. Well, if it works, it ain't dumb, but ugly it might be. Right. Now, more landfill production. Nah. Well, yes, but not right now. Right now, it's actually about charcoal. Gotta push some charcoal around. Otherwise, the filtering breaks down, and that's not great. Let's put it like that. It's just not great. But hey, one step at a time. Okay. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Can pick up a lot of these belts. And we need to connect, well, let's remove the recipes for now. We need to connect this and this to a train station, which is yucky. Very, very yucky. Okay. Chlorine processing. Maybe? I don't know. Honestly, no idea. No, actually, let's do advanced copper smelting. Because that way we get more copper plates. That seems like something we could use. It's not like they're really missing right now. It's just that we could use some more. Because this is just smallest working setup. Could be much better. See, both of these machines are waiting for this machine to be working. Which is actually, could we? Probably. There's... Thank you. There's some fancy things we could do here. For when this can have an upgrade. And we'll have... yeah, let's do it like this. Drop below. Drop above. And this one is filled correctly. Right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is 1, 2. Making red signs. Oh, come on. Here. That goes in there. And that does as well. I could just... Yep. That's the easy way out. Good. So this should double our production of red signs and therefore double our research speed. A hack on top of a hack on top of a hack. Just the way I like it. Yes. Let's grab this and let's grab that. Seems reasonable. And let's make some of these, and that needs some more solder. So. Oh well. We have solder, we just don't actually want to grab it right now. There's some engine units. Let's actually make another train. So the first thing is actually, well, a train station. And the only really useful spot for it is right here, where it's in the way of the future landfill production and all that. Ugh. Sometimes. Well. No, that's a bit far. I knew that would work. Good. Here, a logistic train stop and a warehouse which needs some stone bricks, which I have right here. What a coincidence. It needs a lot of stone bricks, to be quite perfectly clear. Right. And this mess. What am I gonna do with you? I recall saying something about fancy and nonsense and fancy. Sure, why not? Guess that's the way it's gonna be. Making fancy things. Fancy schmancy. Right. Yeah, let's do that. That is quite the amount of landfill. And this is where the fancy begins. I should just deconstruct this wholesale or something like that. Now let's hope I didn't accidentally remove one of the power poles that carries power to the crystallized area where the geodes are processed. Come on. go. Now, where was I? There. All of this is chaos. Just chaos. Right. So here's how it's gonna work. No, it's not. Damn it. Okay. So here's how it's gonna work. We're gonna make a hack on top of a hack on top of something else, I don't know. There you go. That is one, and that is two. And you are wrong. See, that works perfectly fine. Oh. This is probably a bit maddening to some people, but alas, it is the way it is. Alright, this works. This works just fine as well. There we go. This is a slight bit madness, but that means we finally have a full circle around all areas. That's great and all. Moving on. Can I please have... Ah yes, I still didn't fix the madness, didn't I? Right. First things first, I want this and this. And then let's turn that around. And sure. I want something like this. And that can be chests. Don't care. Don't care. Good. Just want some landfill production, honestly, right now. It's just an intermediate change, as they say it. Right, so warehouse. There it is. And it goes right here. Right here. Constant combinator. And some of these. And one of the power poles that I don't like. And the power pole that I do like. And another power pole, just connect them all. Constant combinator with a maximum train length of 2. Thank you. And a request for charcoal. Good. No station supplying charcoal found in the networks. Well, yes, that's the next thing I have to fix. Thank you. Right. Here is a bit of belt. Now I need to get that belt through this maze. And that's a bit too early. I wanted to go through here. And I wanted to exist, therefore I need to craft some more belts. Ah, the madness. Right. And once that's done... Yeah, look at that. We can... Ah, yes. Great. Let's go with advanced tin smelting. What was the suggestion again? There was some suggestion here. Right, I can move this to up here. And this valve to up there. And that saves me a lot of pipes. Well, some pipes. Okay. And then there's this thing. Let's just move that. For reasons that should become apparent in a few seconds. Here, have that. Come on. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, sure, let's do it like this. Bit annoying, but whatever. Now, if we had charcoal, it would be delivered to where we wanted. Now we just need to have charcoal. So that's the last step of this mess. Oh, good lord. Okay. Better. Hopefully. It seems we are running low on sulfur again. Which, again, I do not like. I really don't. But it seems to be holding up for now, so I guess I'll take it. Right? Do we have enough sulfuric loads? Okay, we have more than enough sulfuric acid. And possibly the tank that I just looked at is the problem. Well, okay. Right, the idea was to fill that from here. And that's probably best accomplished by... I have these things. They are called underground belts. It seems that they are not correctly registered as underground belts within the system. But hey, if it works, it works. Something like that. I'm just gonna put those in here, or something like that. Give me some more transport belts. Thank you. Just to finish this off. And this way only the stuff that we can't actually actively deal with by turning it into fuel will get provided to the train station. Alright, there we go. So this should be filling up now, which is great. And we're still generating sufficient amounts for all the other stuffs. Right. So this is, well, in a few seconds, there should be a delivery. I'm looking forward to that delivery. Because it means there's gonna be... Cool. Interesting. No station supplying charcoal. I don't believe you. I do not believe you. But that's okay. And this can then return to the depot, whatever. Okay. Right. Grab some more landfill, fill some more land. Just while we're waiting, basically. There is no landfill there. I don't like that. Yeah. That is done. There we go. And let's look at this train. Give me a second. Alright, we're back. That was a neighbor of mine looking for a package of hers. Okay, we were checking back on the train that is delivering charcoal. Huzzah! This is only 5 inserters. I should make that 6 at some point. Either way, this is just gonna wait until the station is empty. That's another 200 something. Or until 100 seconds have passed. That's also quite a while. Let's just grab this landfill. And grab that landfill over there. Here we go. And then fill in some land. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something, something, something. Now, in the best case, we'd have these junctions as before on all corners. Oh, and the train's there. Well, we missed how it went, but I'm assuming it just went through this loop-de-loop, and then yeah, it's no train there. No train there. Damn it. I underestimated the size of my stencil. Either way. Time for some copper ore processing, it seems. Because that's what we just got. Better copper processing. And that needs oxygen. Terrible. Okay. Honestly, the next step is probably to rip out most of this production and attach it to a train station, basically. Instead of doing all that mess. Right. What did I change here? Organic acid below 5,000. Let's make that equal to 0. Equal to 0. Ah. So we don't want any alginic acid, actually. It's just, we don't want that. We don't want that. Right. And this charcoal mess can, what? Why? No, go away. I'm gonna just remove that because we don't need that. What we in fact do need is removing the constraint here and dropping some charcoal onto this, honestly. Right. Let's see. Ah yes, that was the charcoal delivery. We were just a bit quicker than the train, just a tiny bit. Right, so this should properly restore the filtering functionality. Not sure whether it was affected by our small change. No, I don't want the viscous mud water. I want mineral sludge. Actually, I want the consumption of slag slurry, to be quite honest. Yeah, okay, we didn't have enough charcoal to filter for a few minutes there. For a bit more than half a minute. Just a tiny bit more than half a minute. But that's fine. That works just fine. Oh, no, no path. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Let's see where this is going. This is going here. Alright, so this is a bit of a mess. Alright. Now that's working. And that's also working. Right. This is a fine path. It should be doing just fine. Just perfectly alright. Ah, yes. There actually isn't a path. Let's just hack a bit of a fix for that. Now the train should be coming in actually. Like within... There we go. Now for now these are just corners with included track switches, which is kind of not the point. Because we want this setup over there. Ah, yes. And another delivery. The exact same route. Come on, train! I'll race you to the destination or something like that. That's again a bit of a mess. But sure. Hi there. Let's see how this train is gonna be moving. How much cargo do we have? 200. 800 something. Thank you for the advanced tin smelting. I don't know. Sulfur processing? Nah. Geode crystallization? Also honestly doesn't seem that interesting. Silver smelting, zinc smelting, manganese. All of these fancy things. Let's start with a steel axe. Gonna make refactoring easier by making removing of things quicker. Okay, train, carry on. Now we're going down here. Yes, I know that. I actually forced it to leave with the less cargo than intended. And there we go. Good. So that's working as planned. The next thing we probably want, power distribution with large power poles is a thing. And another train. Another train would probably be very helpful. And a fluid train. That's also something to consider. And we need to check whether our depot... Yeah, it's not actually... Yeah, there's a bit of a thing to be done here. We need fuel for the trains. Otherwise, they're actually just gonna run out of fuel at some point. This one has... No, I don't want to see how much fuel he has left. Come on, train. Tell me, how much fuel do you have? Damn it. Okay, sure. Let's do something cheeky. One of these, and some rails. That's a bit of a mess, but whatever isn't, you know. And yes, I know that these two should have been chain signals, but I don't have any chain signals at the ready, and I'm not gonna force that issue right now. What I'm instead gonna do is actually fix this. There, and one of these. Alright. And this doesn't work, we need these. And let's actually move that a bit. So I can actually fill the trains. There we go. Good. Now, here's something, and here's something. And there's a bit of a possible mess here. Right. Good. Chaos. Pure, unadulterated chaos. Now I can yoink this request and put it right here and say, hey, that request actually goes to here as well. And this is, hello, this is depot fuel requester. Yes, thank you. This is the fuel requester. And the fuel requester has a very high request priority. Right? Nope. Request priority 1000. Because if we run out, that's a problem. That's, well, the long and the short of it. Unfortunately, we don't appear to have enough charcoal just yet. Which I'm not sure how to address just yet. But it seems perfectly alright. Ah, yes. 500 charcoal, there we go. That's a delivery. Yeah, we have... Well, the next step is probably more bioprocesses, actually. And we should have enough for that. Okay. Ugh, it needs to make a whole run around Rosie, or something like that. Yeah, no train to transport items found. I mean, why would you transport more items? Yeah, okay, this one is missing. No, it's not. This shouldn't be requesting. And this shouldn't be requesting either. So try to send a delivery to this one again. Yeah, we're not gonna do that, actually. Limit the number of trains to a single one. There we go. And now I can actually check how much fuel this train... yeah, sure, it has more than enough fuel. Thank you very much. Right, and... look at that. Here, have some fuel. You're a cargo train. Wait at the depot. Good train. Now we should see it being loaded. Yep. Right, when Simon, who I also gave this junction to and who regularly comments nice things around this video, set up his train network. Wow, that looks really close. Set up his train network in his PyBlock run. He had a problem with these trains not being dispatched because they were being loaded with fuel and therefore active, and therefore didn't leave the depot after receiving their schedule, which is a thing. He'd set up an RS latch to fix that. I think I'm just gonna let these trains be filled and be done with it. Because I can afford to, because my trains are not... Well, I don't have that little charcoal available. And I don't have quite as many trains yet. So, why are you... Oh, you're just slow. Okay. You're just slow. Good. Well, I'm gonna finish connecting this bit of land. Nope, this bit of land. Because I wanna. And then next episode, here. That's where I wanna do things. Fix me better copper and tin ingots. And that's the thing I want to do. And that's the thing I want to do. So we got stuff to do for the next episode. Well, see you then, I guess.